Welcome, everyone, to the Bradley Center. We're in downtown Milwaukee, the home of the Bucks, where we'll be broadcasting today's live action. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. Someone will be keeping an eye on John Wall.
You know, there are so many elite athletes at that point guard spot in the NBA, Kevin, but John Wall might be the best. His blend of speed, strength, agility is just amazing to watch. And when he can get out in transition in particular, that's when he's at his best.
He's so fast and agile, you forget that he's 6'4", strong and wiry. When he gets hacked on the finish, he can not only absorb the hit, but finish the layup as well. He's a terrific talent.
It's a one-game reprieve at home for the Bucks. Here with their Milwaukee fans, and then back on the road. Well, compared to last season, you'd have to say the start to this season has not been quite what you'd expect. They hope to improve their record with the wins tonight, certainly.
When I look at Milwaukee, they found wins really hard to come by. I mean, so far it's been the same story. They're one of the teams that is still looking for answers.
And after an offseason where they'd hoped they'd made some strides, the early returns have not been good, Clark. We'll see if they can get things heading in the right direction.
On the free throw, no good.
Boy, the Wizards had a hard time getting wins against the rest of the conference, and it's a big part of why they never built any momentum up at any point of the season. When you can't find it in your ability to beat other teams in your conference, it's a long season for you.
Here's Delfino, who picked up 12 points in their last one against Detroit.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. He gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Now here's Wall. There's the feed to Beal. The pass to D. 6 on the shot clock. Some solid defense from Delfino. Well, back to the Wizards. 52 games this season are played in conference, and they struggled against the East, so it really did create a huge roadblock for them. Only 15 conference wins for them, and Steve, that was the second fewest in the East.
Yeah, the East, as we know, last year was really weak, so that number is pretty alarming, especially when you consider how well Washington played down the stretch.
Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Here is Wall. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Lakers. Makes the lead pass. Delfino with the steal. And up the court come the Bucks on the break. Knight leading the charge.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Larry Drew. We went over the matchups in tonight's game, and when we came to Nene, he told me, now there's a player. You just don't find big men with that kind of body who's that light on his feet. I don't know if it's his soccer background, but the way he moves, it's awfully tough to stay between him and the iron. Guys, that's the goal, but we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. Pass to D. Pick by Okafor. Shot clock at 6. Delfino with the steal.
Well, if you really want to make things hard on yourself, that's exactly how to do it. Turnovers on back-to-back trips down the floor.
Well, they're not doing themselves any favors. The next possession needs to be a good one. They've got to find their offensive rhythm.
Ilya Silva hits the bucket.
And they're nearly perfect from the floor early on. 4 of their first 5 shots they've drained.
Well, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky is more of a combo guard than a pure point when you look at him offensively. But with his long arms and good athleticism and at 6'3", I think there's a lot of upside for him at the defensive end of the floor. I think he's a guy that could defend 1 and 2s effectively.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And for Brandon Knight offensively, he's still trying to figure it out.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. I mean, he does have some point guard skills. He's got some athleticism. But he's really an excellent outside shooter when he's got time to set up.
Well, you know, the Bucks thought they had a plan to make a big push forward by pairing some talent together in the backcourt, but what seems to have happened is they are now mired in mediocrity, which is exactly where you don't want to be.
Delfino with the 3. Washington with the rebound. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
And you just had to admire the versatility they showed offensively that day.
Yeah, their scoring came from all over the place. If one approach didn't work for them, they found another that did.
Gets it to go. And back to Minnesota, they were the 8th seed in the East last year, but still finished 6 games under 500. Still a lot of work for them to get above 500 and be in a position where, Steve, they are, competing for home court in the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of changes for the Bucks in the offseason, but a team that was able to sneak in last year, they're hopeful to make it once again this season, but it feels like they're kind of stuck in the middle right now.
You know, it was a hot start last season for O.J. Mayo in Dallas, guys. A lot of people wondered if he finally turned the corner and become the star that people had expected when he was the 3rd overall pick back in 2008. But his hot shooting wore off a bit, and by the end of the season, Coach Carlisle was starting to question his effort.
And the Wizards making a change here. Serafin's checked in. Now here's Beal. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. The shot by Nene, no good. Bucks leading by 7. And for O.J. Mayo last season, still some positive signs. A career high in three-point percentage, one of the better years from the field, and I think the Mavericks really enjoyed him on their team.
Well, it seemed on the whole that the year went very well for him. He opted out of the final year of his deal and picked up a new multi-year contract, so we'll see how he continues to develop.
Here's Beal after Udo's basket. Beal dishes the Wall. It's Beal on the wing. Pass to D. Fires for 3. That's good. D's got 7 points in the game. For the Milwaukee Bucks, they won their last contest, that game against the Detroit Pistons.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
And the call will be against D. That's his first foul.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Porter's checked in for Nene. Mayo into the lane. Leads him in there. Here's Pachulia. Gets the bucket.
You know, in Larry Drew's case, it was a bit of an unusual situation once the season concluded. He was in the final year of his deal. The Hawks said we'll interview other candidates and left him free to interview for other head coaching positions, and he landed in Milwaukee.
Now here's Wall. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Bucks.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too. Clark, we're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
Milwaukee making a switch here. On to Tacumbo's checked in. Knight gets a screen from Ilyasova. Knight passes to Ilyasova. Ilyasova, a screen on Beal. Mayo drives in. A nice shot by Knight. Well, Stephen, back to Coach Drew, of course, he ended up signing with the Bucks.
Well, that was an interesting move for him to go from Atlanta to Milwaukee. You know, the Hawks were one of the better defensive teams in the league last year. I think that's what the Bucks saw in Drew. And that's the idea for him to really help this team get the most out of its players, particularly defensively.
I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw, the defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Just 5 on the clock. Mayo, the feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Mayo's got his second basket of the night.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Now here's Wall. Right now averaging 21 points a game. Offensive rebound. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, his scoring this quarter has been off the charts, and the complexion of the game as a result may change.
For Washington, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
And for the season, guys, they're about 73% from the line, so kind of a mediocre shooting club.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
Shot by Mayo is no good.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
Wall attacking. Teardrop shot. Knight, coming off a stellar performance against Detroit. Mayo kicks to Henson. There's the pass to Antetokounmpo. He feeds it to Knight. A three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. What a start to this game. The offense is both dominating.
Tell you what, feels like a game on the playground. Forget about defense, just keep firing.
Antetokounmpo. Now the dish to Henson. Porter with the steal. And Wall. Here we go now. He passes to D. Back to Wall. They set the pick. Pass to Porter. There's the triple. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Wall's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Knight kicks to Antetokounmpo. Feeds it to Pachulia. Serafin's there. Poked away. It's stolen by Wall. 3-on-3. All alone. The shot is off.
Oh, that's a frustrating one there. Easy look at the hoop.
Kicks it to Knight. It's stolen by Ariza. Ariza, right side. And Washington again with the bucket. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Wizards?
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Washington making some changes. Emeka Okafor, he's checked in for Kevin Serafin. Webster comes in for D, and it's Maynard in for John Wall. Delfino and Ilyasova, the forwards. Walters out there with Mayo, and it's Udo in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
Yeah, he didn't have to slow down at all, guys. Just perfectly timed pass there.
Here's Walters. He kicks to Delfino. There's a good screen. 6 to shoot. Looking to end the run. Rebound, Washington. Nene's got his 3rd rebound on the night. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, a very familiar opponent. They've played these guys an awful lot over the years, and this is the first of their 4 get-togethers this season.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Yes, gentlemen, D in their last game against the Lakers just played phenomenal. He ended with 41 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Absolutely incredible numbers from him in a monstrous game.
Great, Doris. Thanks. Any chance we see him top that performance at Clark here tonight?
I'd say no chance, partner. And that's not a knock against him. It's just that he was so good that night, I don't think he can possibly do it 2 games in a row.
He was Kelloggian. Is that a word? We can use that word.
It is now.
Oh, look at Steve. He didn't like that, though. Look at him.
Well, let's just say he was really good.
That's good. A lot of familiarity with these two teams. Steve just kind of touched on. Clark, do you think it really does impact the rest of their matchups later in the season?
Absolutely, Kevin. It sure does. I mean, because for the winners today, they now know what game plan brought them success. So they've got a blueprint for the next meeting. For the losers, it's back to the drawing board for adjustments.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Smith has checked in. And here's Wall. Pass to D. Back to Wall. Passes it to D. Nene, the screen. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Fast break, Milwaukee. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
John Henson's checked in for Udo.
Getting road wins was one of the biggest struggles for the Wizards last season. Started out slow, and even after Wall came back from injury, they still weren't exactly taking care of business on the road.
Now here's Wall. A stupendous finish in traffic. Wall's got 6. Bucks trail by 7. Now Delfino. He's got 8. Ilyasova sets a screen for Mayo. He dishes it to Ilyasova. Back to Mayo. Unloads. And he hits the jump shot. 15 points in the game. Well, Clark, back to the Wizards on the road. You mentioned their slow start, but just to illustrate how bad it was for them, it wasn't until mid-December that they got their first road win. Steve, they lost their first 8 to start the year away from Washington.
Yeah, it was a shame, too, because that start kind of took them out of playoff consideration. You know, and they ended up playing really well down the stretch, but, you know, at the end of the season, they were actually okay on the road, and they were pretty competitive, in fact.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter. Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here's Wall. He has 6. Second chance shot. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for D. He has 14 points and a block. Seems like he's making everything he looks at.
Automatic, guys, just completely automatic at this point.
The Bucks actually made it back into the playoffs last season, but it wasn't because they were dominant at home. Only 21-20 at the Bradley Center, and those 21 wins were the fewest of any team that played in the playoffs.
Now, here is Knight. Right now averaging 15 points a game. Now the pass to Antetokounmpo. Dishes it to Smith. With the lead pass, Henson's shot is off. Well, Clark, as you said, the Bucks didn't offer a lot as far as protecting their home court. In the end, it could come back to bite them as they lost 2 in a row on their home floor and got swept out of the playoffs, Steve, by Miami.
Well, that was a pretty tough matchup for anybody, but for Milwaukee, a team that was below 500, that was near impossible. But look, it was a struggle for the Bucks. We expected that, but getting to the playoffs was an accomplishment. We'll see if they can build on that this year.
A shot by Knight, no good.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Now here's Wall. He passes it to D. Porter a screen on Knight. D passes to Wall. From the line, Green for 2 points. Wall's got 8.
A nice piece of work there. Find a little space and pull the trigger. For most of the start of the Wizards' 2012-13 campaign, the question was, when is John Wall going to return? Well, the answer ended when he came back in January and quickly made his presence felt on that team.
Wizards leading by 7. Hit his foot. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. Martell Webster, he's checked in for Porter. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
20 seconds left here in the second. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. The feed to Knight. Shoots the 3. Gets it to go. Knight's got 7 points for the quarter.
That bounce pass got him the ball in rhythm. Nice play.
Here's Rice. Buried it just in the nick of time.
He sure did. Right on cue. Man, was that major drama. He loves those situations, though.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Halftime at Bradley Center in
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. We're seeing a tremendous game from D.
Yeah, he's been a revelation here tonight. Clark scoring almost at will there in the half.
Hard to imagine he'll keep it up for the next 2 quarters, but you never know.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Taking a look at the Wizards. Nene at the 4, Okafor at the 5. Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. And it's D in at the 3 spot. Wall's shot is off.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
There's the pick. And they call an illegal screen here. And let's quickly go to our rookie leaderboard to find out which rookies have blocked the most shots this season. And you look at D, fierce inside defender, tops in the NBA in blocks.
Well, he has clearly established himself as the premier interior defender among this year's rookie class.
Yeah, he's a ball of energy out there. Static electricity is this guy. I mean, he's got the athleticism to match that too, so it's really good to see such a hungry, young, athletic defender.
And it's going to be a 3-second call. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Washington. I know they would have liked a better start, but they're 10th in the conference right now. And, of course, Milwaukee, a game and a half out.
Well, right now for the Bucks, you know, they've got to take a step back and just try to pinpoint where things went south for them this season. They're in a tough spot.
But it's so hard to figure that out in the midst of the season, Clark. You got games coming night after night. There's just no time to figure it out. You just have to try to right the ship and get things moving.
Mayo against Beal. He feeds it to Wall. Pass to D. Back to Wall. 5 on the clock. And stolen by Ilyasova. And now here's Mayo, the fast break opportunity. Knight banked in off the glass. 17 points for O.J. Mayo.
Heads-up play on both ends there. Transition basketball, the steal and the quick push.
Steve, that's how it should be played. I mean, rapid-fire basketball.
Okafor against Ilyasova. Wall passes to D. The dish to Beal. Here's D. No up. So Milwaukee will take it the other way.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things toward them. I mean, they've been winning that battle.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. No good from Delfino. Washington trailing. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Guys, John Wall may be the fastest player in the league, but it's been his outside shot that's held him back from becoming a superstar. He said in his younger days he never needed to shoot from outside, and added that if he did, he shot it, quote, like I was a lights-out shooter. Fade away, no follow-through. In other words, he made the shot more difficult than it had to be. Now, he says, the main thing for me is using my speed and shooting on the way up. Guys, he's put a lot of work into his shot, and we're starting to see the results.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks. Knight kicks to Ilyasova. Back to Knight. Uncovered. And another basket for Milwaukee.
And their offense is flowing. It's clicking right now at the beginning of the second half. They've made 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Washington's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Wall passes to D. Delfino with the steal. Mayo into the lane. Feeds to Ilyasova. Delfino. The finger roll finish at the bucket. And it's a 4-point Bucks lead.
But the drive to the bucket was nice. But how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
All with it, and it's Knight picking him up. Tries it from 19. Wall, that's good. Wall's got 12 points in the game. The Bucks have gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Knight gets a screen from Delfino. Here's Mayo. And it's Emeka Okafor with the rebound.
He got the shot he wanted off that pick, just couldn't get it to fall.
But, Steve, they'll take that play all day long, 10 times out of 10. That was good action.
D defended by Delfino. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
Mayo, that's good.
You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
You know, the Bucks were the last team to make it into the Eastern Conference playoffs, and part of the reason that happened was because they didn't really do well against the rest of the conference. 24 and 28 against the East. Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert for Clark.
Clark, as you were saying, the rest of the Eastern Conference got the better of the Bucks. Had they been a little tougher against some of the lesser teams in their own conference, they might not have had to deal with the Heat in the first round of last year's playoffs.
Well, the Bucks tried to mix things up last year. Remember, they made the big trade at midseason, too, going for J.J. Redick and moving on from some of their young players. And I think that changed. And, of course, the coaching switch from Scott Skiles to Jim Boylan. So they lost some of their momentum.
Smith with it, looking for his first basket still in this one. Ilyasova dishes to Neal. Shot is off. Excellent D from D.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
You know, guys, Emeka Okafor was the #2 overall pick out of Connecticut back in 2004, and because he was drafted so high, some people may have expected more, but I always saw him as what he's become. A physical, bruising big man inside who can rebound his position and do the little things to help you win, and he's done that consistently and effectively throughout his career.
Smith outside, and here's Mayo for three. The rebound by Okafor. Okafor's got 4 rebounds now tonight. They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive, and I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Yeah. Steve, you like groove, don't you?
I do. I love groove, Kevin, and I love the attack mode this team is in, too. I mean, they're really getting into the paint. They're getting whatever they want offensively.
Shots good by Neal. And Emeka Okafor, really a bodybuilder's physique, a 6'10", well over 255 pounds. You know, physically, he's always been the perfect picture in terms of how he conducts himself, how he readies for a season.
Yeah, he's got that chiseled frame that actually reminds me a little bit of you, Kev. Although he stands almost 7 feet tall.
No, I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
But it's so kind to say.
Sure.
I appreciate that. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Washington.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And I also like the penetration. I mean, they're getting into the paint. They're getting a lot of easy hoops from those strong drives.
And that one falls for Wall.
Losing 12 straight to start the season for the Wizards, just ominous. And through 20 games, the worst start in franchise history. But once they got back to health, they showed they could compete with anybody.
Kicks to Ilyasova. Swiped it away. Rice covered by Smith. And that one's good. 24 points for D. When you start out like the Wizards did last year, it's easy to get down on yourself and give up on the season. And you know what, Steve? They showed a lot of fight, never bowed their heads.
Got to give a lot of credit to Randy Whitman for keeping the ship afloat after that tough start. And I like the fact that they added some veteran guys a season ago that I think added to the character of this team. But it's an interesting group, no doubt. Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
Washington making some changes. Nene comes in for Emeka Okafor. And Garrett Temple subbed in for John Wall. Temple the pass to D. There's the pick. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. D's got 10 points in the quarter.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
And Ilyasova kicks to Smith. The Bucks working the ball around. But Trey A nice shot by Walters.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
D passes to Temple. He kicks it to Ariza. Shot clock at 5. Plenty of space. Walters with the rebound.
Well, he's wide open there, but really struggles from that range. Maybe there's a reason he's open.
Smith dishes to Yooooo. The game now all time. Yooooo's got his 3rd basket of the night. Washington's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Passes it to Rice. He dishes it to Temple. And the pass to Rice. Takes the 3. The rebound by the Bucks. Here's Neal. 7 points in the game. Pass to Smith for the lead. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
D passes to Temple to end the run. No good from Rice. Bucks leading by 3. Into Smith. And that is good. Smith's got 5 points now this quarter.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on the follow, just like he got there.
Artel Webster, he's checked in for Washington. Bradley Beal comes in for Garrett Temple. Dishes it to Webster. Pass to D. The 10-footer. That's good on the jump shot. D's got 28.
Well, he recognized the advantage size-wise, and he went right at the defender. That's how you do it.
Now, here is Knight. Webster covering. Knight kicks to Delfino. Delfino gets a screen from Yooooo. No good with the triple.
They've been able to get out to this lead without really getting a very reliable performance out of him from the field.
Beal with it, and it's Knight picking him up. Beal dishes to Webster. Ariza sets a screen for Webster. Beal. He passes to D. And he lays it straight in. And it's now only a 1-point Bucks lead. Milwaukee's gone to the 3-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them. Here's the screen. The feed to Yooooo. Passes to Walters. Ilyasova, a screen on Beal. Shot denied. The pass to D. Nene, the screen. Here's Ariza. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Oh, what a monster shot to close out the third.
Tune in this Friday night, November 29th. John Wall and the Washington Wizards go up against Paul George and the Indiana Pacers.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. Mayo and Delfino are the wings. Ilyasova out there with Yooooo, and it's Knight in at the 1. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Delfino passes to Ilyasova. Pocket 6. He feeds it to Mayo. The 11-footer. There's the block. And they're able to recover. The Wizards with the lead. And Beal kicks to Wall. Pass to D. Got a piece of it. Delfino with the steal. The dish now to Knight. Takes a shot at the elbow. Nene with the screen on Ilyasova. It's Beal on the wing. A Offensive rebound. And then Okafor slams it in.
Pure hustle on that play, and that's what it takes on the offensive boards. It's not about ability as much as it is desire.
And that Clark and some muscle, and he showed us he's got plenty of that with the huge dunk.
Well, in a tight game, I mean, they could use a few more of those hustle plays going forward if they're going to win.
Passes it to D. Back to Wall. Out of bounds. Milwaukee takes possession. Chance now to check out the Washington Wizards' upcoming schedule. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip.
I know I'll be looking out for the final score of that Pacers game. I think it should be close.
Knight against Wall. Now, here's Knight. He's tightly guarded. Mayo dishing to Knight. Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Udo. No good. That would have tied it. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. D passes to Wall. It's Beal on the wing. Inside. Deflects the pass. And Wall. Here we go now. Nene. And that comes off the assist by John Wall. Wall's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Bucks trail by 5. Outside Mayo. Feeds to Udo. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
Defenders have to be aware that they cannot allow him that position before he catches the ball.
You're exactly right, Steve. That is his domain.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He told his squad, listen, guys, it's close. It's about execution here. If we do that, I like our chances. No hero ball, just trust each other and make the simple play. Kevin?
He hits both from the stripe.
Well, after a brief 2-year drought, the Bucks got back to the playoffs this past season, but it wasn't pretty once they got there. With several guarantees from players about upsetting the Heat, they didn't win a single game and were swept by the Miami Heat.
Kicks it to Wall. He dishes it to Beal. Off his foot, and it's whistled a kick. And there's the pass to D. Defended by Delfino. 6 to shoot. No good from D. Back to the Bucks in the playoffs. In every aspect, they were overmatched by the Heat, and no one really thought they would upset them. But many thought, Steve, that they would at least get a game.
Well, I wasn't one of them, Kevin. I thought they were overmatched from the start. And you could tell in that series, Miami wasn't even interested until the fourth quarter. They knew they could just flip a switch and beat this Milwaukee team. And that's exactly what they did.
Both free throws good from D.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half has been nothing but success for them there.
And their confidence has to just continue to go up the longer their perfection continues.
And Ilyasova kicks to Mayo. Mayo off the pick from Ilyasova. Mayo drives in. Dishes to Ilyasova. The Bucks need to get a shot off here. Udo gets the bucket.
Nothing too fancy, just simple execution. That's getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
I agree, Clark. They need stops, and they can't afford any wasted possessions. Those inside shots are really high percentage looks.
Here's Wall, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Smith drives in. He kicks to Ilyasova. Back to Smith. He passes to Ilyasova. Now the feed to Smith. Ilyasova down low. Guarded by Nene. Ilyasova can't hit.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
D. It's rebounded by Delfino. Bucks trail by 7. 4-on-3 break. Smith dishes to Mayo, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
O.J. Mayo is out of USC. He's in his 6th season in the NBA, fellas, and he was considered the top player in his high school class. Very, very highly regarded. He's yet to be a star at the professional level, but I think he's looking to solidify himself as a quality starter.
Nene, the screen. Here's D. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. D's got 6 in the quarter.
His work at the offensive end has been phenomenal. Maybe reason number one, they're ahead.
And for O.J. Mayo, 6'4" player. Some people saw him as a guy who could play point guard, shooting guard. He's just a player, though. He can do a lot of things on the floor.
He's a decent ball handler, but he's a shooting guard. I mean, he can be a little bit of a combo guy, but for the most part, he's out there to score, and most of those points coming off jump shots.
Now Wall. Goes up on the wing. Here's D, and the layup is good. D's got 38 points.
He is feeling it. A terrific percentage from the field.
Bucks trail by 10. Smith outside. He feeds it to Delfino. The kick out to Mayo. Pass to Udo. He's against Okafor. To Mayo. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. Chance now to check out the schedule for Milwaukee. It's off to Charlotte for them after this game as they take on the Bobcats. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Wall against Smith. Outside, Wall.
Boy, it's been a tough go in terms of fouls for him. I mean, my goodness, he can't stay out of the way of foul.
The jury seems to still be out if John Wall can make the jump to being one of the elite point guards in the league. He certainly feels that he'll get there. Last season, he said he deserves a max contract. Worked on that over the summer with the Wizards. I'll tell you what, he has a lot of talent, but just hasn't put it all together yet.
Mayo with it. Now Beal defending. Smith the pass to Udo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And here's Mayo for 3. That is good. Mayo's got 4 this quarter. And when you think of players commanding the max salary, those are your franchise guys. Clark, do you think Wall has put himself in that category yet?
I think he's been hampered by the injuries, Kevin, so you really can't make a fair assessment there. I think he has tremendous potential as a true point guard. Excellent physical gifts, and I think he wants to be a leader. The Wizards have been a team of disorganization and issues in the locker room over the last few years, so I think it's still a bit unfair and premature to judge Wall at this point.
And it's blocked.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
Benet setting the pick for Beal. And another miss by Washington.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert it. He's got to take that every time.
Outside Mayo. The dish to Ilyasova. Releases, and it's rejected.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far. Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard. Bring it down hard, my brother. Mayo into the lane. Back to Smith. Pass to Delfino. Feeds it to Mayo. From deep. They get the rebound. Here's Udo. Connects on the 9-footer.
Boy, as he picked it up in the second half. He's on fire.
Wizards leading by 9. Now here's Wall. Gives him the lead pass. Dean. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run. Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
The kick out to Mayo. He dishes it to Ilyasova. The pass to Delfino. Bucks passing it around. And there's Ilyasova on the assist by Delfino.
Another good look there, and that's his second three-pointer of the game.
pass to D. Pass to Nene. And he drops it in from the low post. And the Wizards lead by 10.
He used his strength there to get into the post without much of a fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think they've got to muscle up on him a little more. Do a better job next time in there.
Brandon Knight, he's checked in for Ish Smith. Knight against Wall. Ilyasova, a screen on Wall. Here's Delfino. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Wall gets a screen from Beal. Okafor sets the pick for Wall. Udo comes in with the double team. Passes it to D. And that one is hammered home. Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Mayo, that's good. Mayo's got 6 in the quarter.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Nene with the screen on Knight. Picked by Okafor. D passes to Okafor. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Outside Mayo. Kicks to Delfino. The 3. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Wall passes to D. Into Nene. Shot clock at 6.
And the clock is their worst enemy right now.
Yeah, they've got to work very quickly here, Steve.
Delfino kicks to Mayo. Here's Udo. And so he draws the foul on the shot. Trip to the line to shoot 2.
Looking at the game for Udo, he's got 10 rebounds, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, it's just a small part of what's been a solid overall contribution by him defensively.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. Milwaukee's gotten 3 of their 6 three-pointers to fall here in the 4th. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Looks like he's just trying to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but I don't know about that shot attempt.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and gameplay. Picked by Okafor. Here's D, rejected by Ilyasova. And here comes the break. Here's Mayo, and he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up missing both free throws. Now Delfino. Fades. Can't get it to fall. And so Washington takes the win. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
We're starting to hear reports that you have recently requested a trade to another team. Any truth to those rumors?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to slipping on a different uniform on game days. I have no reason to lie to you. Things just aren't working out for me here, man. It's nothing personal, strictly business. I'm a winner. I want to play for a winner, you know?
The Wizards are looking to defeat their Eastern Conference rival going into this game. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. On the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And guys, taking a look at Paul George, what will we see from him?
Well, he's an exciting young player. Almost 6'10", great athleticism, length, dynamic finisher at the rim, and he can guard multiple positions defensively.
And you know what, Steve? His growth defensively has been just as impressive. He uses that length to great advantage, contesting shots and coming away with deflections and steals.
Pacers trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Indiana. Still early in the season, but the front office and coaching staff likes what they are seeing from this team so far. Better winning percentage than last year.
Looking at Indiana, they've been playing well to start the season. I mean, once again, asserting themselves as one of the powerhouse ball clubs in the league. I like what I've seen from this team so far.
And they know better than anybody. You know, the NBA season is a marathon, not a sprint. But nonetheless, they've certainly been hot out of the gates.
So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. Into Nene. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
You know, it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
I agree. It settles a team down offensively, and you establish success in the post. That forces the defense to make some adjustments.
Now here is Hill. 20 points for him last game against the Bobcats in Charlotte. 6 to shoot. And George, here we go. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. Looking at Washington, they took the win in their last game out against Milwaukee.
And a very confident performance offensively, I think, guys, is really how this team clicks. I mean, when they're communicating and executing, sharing the ball, they're tough to beat.
And, Steve, you got to love that kind of performance on the road. I mean, to be a great team in the NBA, you have to be able to have that kind of performance in the other team's building. Really solid.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Here's West. Shot denied. They retain possession. Hill dishes to Granger, but they'll get another chance. Granger left side. And another shot. Misses off the right eye.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
And Beal kicks to Wall. Back to D. Okafor with the screen on Hill. D passes to Wall. Lock at 6. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
You know, adding an outside shot is going to be the key to whether John Wall is a good player or a great one. He's shown he has the speed, but until he can force defenders to respect that outside shot, everyone is just going to back off him.
And Wall, a good free throw shooter, over 80% from the line last season. So, Clark, it's not like the form on his shot is broken at all.
No, it's got some issues, though.
Yes, it does.
And it's going to be a matter of practice, Kevin. Before reaching the NBA, he was so much more explosive than other players. He didn't need to settle for the jumper. For him, it's about balance and consistency with those mechanics.
That's good.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
George against Beal. Wall. The 11-footer. Here's Okafor. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the Bobcats.
That was a shocker, guys, because that had to be a tough one for them to swallow. They were supposed to win that game, but they never got going.
Yeah, and to lose it the way they did, too. I mean, that's where it really hurts, Steve. That's a hard one to take. For the Wizards, I thought injuries a big reason they didn't have the season they hoped for. They do have some things they can build off of, though. The one that sticks out to me was how they were able to improve their defense last year and became pretty good at limiting easy shots.
Now, here is George. Following the miss by John Wall. Here's Hibbert. Some solid defense there by Nene. Moments ago, our Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with the coach, Frank Vogel. Doris?
We went over the matchups in tonight's game, and when we came to Nene, he told me, now there's a player. You just don't find big men with that kind of body who's that light on his feet. I don't know if it's his soccer background, but the way he moves, it's awfully tough to stay between him and the iron. Guys, that's the goal, but we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. And Washington making a change here. Serafin's checked in. And going back to what you said, Clark, about the Wizards, they did improve dramatically in terms of defense and had one of the top 10 Ds in the league. Steve, not bad for a team that is clearly building around youth.
And that's a great sign, because normally when you have young players, you struggle defensively more than at the offensive end. So this is a group that has plenty of potential, and I think we're seeing that this season, you know, as they continue to get better in terms of rebounding and defending the paint.
Ball stolen. And here we go, the Wizards fast break, and finished off by Beal.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
And the Pacers with possession here after the basket by Washington. Clock is at 3. The fadeaway, and the shot is good. And it's 7 points for Paul George. Wizards leading by 4. Now here's Beal. He had 10 points in the win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Wall, that's good.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Now here is Hill. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Back to George. He kicks it to Granger. Tries to save it. And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession. And now let's take a look at a very well-rounded group of players. Shooting guards who can rebound with the big boys. Paul George on top.
And a two-guard who's as prolific as a rebounder as he is, that's a rare breed in the NBA. I mean, it defies conventional wisdom that he's able to pull down as many boards as he does from that position.
Well, I start with his athleticism, Steve. I mean, that makes it possible. And he's got a nice feel for playing in the post as well. He doesn't look out of place down there like a lot of shooting guards do.
Mahinmi's checked in for David West. There's the dish to Mahinmi. Indiana moving it around. Wall against Hill. He passes to George. From outside the arc. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And that's now 10 points for Paul George.
Well, his scoring this quarter has been off the charts. And the complexion of the game as a result may change.
Inside. Here's D. Count the bucket. D's got 5 now.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Now here is Hill. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Tries it from 9. And again, it's Indiana converting. Wizards leading by 3. Here's Wall. He had 19 points in the win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. They set the pick. Some solid defense from Mahinmi.
Really good performance so far on the boards for this club.
Boy, I like the way they've done a great job carving out space under the basket when the shots have gone up. Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Passes to D. Power down, the champ. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Here's Hill following the bucket by the Wizards. George defended by Beal. The shot by George, no good. The Wizards have gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket.
And you know, you talk about Frank Vogel, guys, and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it.
Granger outside. Backing down. Pass to Johnson. The feed to Hill. Back to Johnson. Kicks to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Good. It's Johnson with the assist that time. And the Pacers lead by 2. And back to Vogel. He really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team of toughness and defense, and Steve, that willingness to battle.
Hey, that's a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent, along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
So on the floor for Washington, Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Okafor out there with D, and it's Rice in at the 3 set.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Johnson kicks to Granger. He dishes it to West. Granger on the 3 off target.
And his mechanics are just all out of whack now. He just has no feel for his shot.
Well, his numbers certainly back that fact up. I mean, he has gone ice cold here.
Back to Wall. There's the pick. It's stolen by Hill. Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity. Reverses, out of bounds. Washington takes possession.
Let's take a look at some numbers for John Wall. 10th in assists, and he's in the top 15 in points per game. So he's a guy you have to account for defensively.
And, you know, looking again, Steve, at his place among the top 10 assist men, he's been providing a lot of room service dimes to his teammates, and I hope they appreciate it.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for the Wizards. Wall attacking. It's off his foot, and it's being called a kickball. Feeds to Beal. And there's the pass to D. Cannot hit. So the Pacers will take it the other way. This their first look at this year's Washington squad.
And as you'd expect, they pretty much handled this team a year ago.
A nice shot by Jordan.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Wizards trail by 3. All with it. Right now averaging 21 points a game. D passes to Wall. Shot clock at 6. Off the screen, and the shot is good. Wall's got his second basket of the night. Clark, opposite ends of the conference here. The expectations are pretty much the same as last season.
Well, Kevin, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know where the upsets will take place, but they do occur pretty much all the time. No hesitation at all on that alley-oop. Saw his teammate with the path to the hoop, and bang! Lobbed it right up there for him.
And he was ready for it, elevated, made the catch. You saw the result.
And I like the choice, making the conservative finish, making sure of the 2 points.
Shots it off the pick from Granger. And it's Johnson penetrating. And Okafor with the block. And here's Ariza. An 11-point game for him in the win against Milwaukee. Pass to D. Outside, Wall. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Okafor trying to get open. Gets it to go. And that's now 11 points for D.
It was certainly a slow start to the season for the Pacers. Their veteran and leading scorer, Danny Granger, was on the shelf with a knee injury, but somehow this team found its identity around defense and the emergence of some younger players that may serve them well going forward. You get Danny Granger back with the young, emerging talent. This team should contend for a while.
Here's the screen. Wall dishes to Okafor. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Scola against Porter. He passes to D. Nene, the screen. Dishes to Porter. Passes it to D. Defended by George. Just 5 to shoot. Oh, and here we go. Watson, nobody back. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Boris Burke. Hi, Boris.
Yes, gentlemen. D, in their last game against the Bucks, played just phenomenally. He had 46 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Numbers like that make you anxious to see what he can do next time out.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance, Clark.
It clearly was one of those games that when we look back on his career, this game will be right there among the best ever that he's played.
Well, he was in the zone from the outset. It was just one of those games where he was feeling it. Everything was going his way, and he attacked, and that's what I like. Once he knew it was his night, he just attacked relentlessly.
Emeka Okafor is checked in for Porter. Maynard kicks to Webster. Stolen by Stevenson. And now running up the court, Stevenson pushing it up. Oh, tried to dunk it home, but drew the foul, and it'll go to the line. Marjel Webster picks one up.
Yeah, Kevin, his ball skills are almost second to none. He takes guys literally out of their shoes sometimes with that dribble.
Well, that tight handle, that rush hour handle, I call it, the things he can do with the ball make him a very entertaining player to watch, Steve.
Wizards making a switch here. Temple's checked in. 1:09 left now here in the second. He feeds it to Okafor. Temple the pass to D. That's good. D's got 13.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Watson dishes to Copeland. He kicks to Scola. The feed now to Copeland. And the pass to Watson. Clock at 6. Unloads. The rebound by Okafor. Okafor's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Webster kicks to Temple. The dish to Webster. The Wizards working the ball around now. Pass to deep. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. And Marjel Webster gets the 3. Now just a 5-point Pacer lead. Watson's shot is good. Watson's got 4 points this quarter. Here's Temple. Can't hit. And so that brings the first half to a close. Pacers lead by 7. Keep it.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Well, it's halftime on 2K Sports. This is Dave.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Really an incredible game from Paul George.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that talent in the second half.
George Hill at the 1, Paul George at the 2. Down low, Weston Hibbert, and it's Granger in at the small forward position. So that's the group out there for Indiana.
After signing the big contract, a lot was expected from Roy Hibbert last season, and he put a little pressure on himself, but he also had a wrist injury, got off to a slow start, and didn't find his groove until the calendar turned to 2013.
The turnaround jumper, that was a thing of beauty.
Hill against Wall. Hill passes to West. Good. West has got his 3rd basket of the night.
Yeah, and he shows us he knows how to finish with a flourish.
And for Hibbert, first-time All-Star in 2012. His slow start cost him a shot, I think, to repeat as an All-Star last season. That was after he signed a big contract, too, with the Pacers.
Yeah, but he sure recovered well because in the second half of the season in the playoffs, he was one of the best players in the NBA. In fact, gave Miami all kinds of troubles in the East Conference Finals.
From 15 feet away, and again, it's Indiana converting.
They've been good on all 3 of their shots since coming out of the locker room at the break.
Wall against Hill. They double him with George. Passes it to D. And a strong finish with 2 hands. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw. The defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
That would be 4 in a row for them now as they have come racing out of the gate to start this second half.
The Pacers shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. The free throw drops for Granger.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with their postseason play, they certainly did that. They marched through the first 2 rounds by knocking off the Hawks and the Knicks. And, boy, remember, they were a game away from the NBA Finals.
And that one's good. And it's 8 points for John Wall.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Wall against Hill. Pass to George. Kicks it to West. Nene on him. The fader. Again, Indiana. Ultimately, the Pacers would fall to the Heat, but they put them to the test. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They gained respect league-wide even more than they had going into the playoffs. It took 7 games, Clark, and you saw them all, which a lot of folks didn't see coming.
I know that's the case, and yet the way the Pacers showed such grit in that series, it indicates they can compete with anybody. And when you have a defensive anchor like they do in Roy Hibbert, they've got a chance to be a championship team before long.
Granger outside. It's back to Hill. He dishes it to George. 6 to shoot. Swiped away. D fended by West. D passes to Wall. It's stolen by Hill. George against Okafor. On the wing, Granger. Right now averaging 25 points a game. Shot clock at 5. Shot from the wing. And there's the rejection. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Luis Scola. He's checked in for the Pacers.
Luis Scola.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. The pass to D. Okafor with the screen on Granger. D passes to Okafor. Here's D. Another shot. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Talk about a terrific game for D. He has 15 points, and he has sent a bunch of shots in reverse.
Well, because of that, there's now a serious intimidation factor working in their favor.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Washington. No free throws good from D. Pacers leading by 8. Hill with it. He's picked up by Wall. Now Hill averaging 16 points a game. Outside, George. Feeds it to Scola. Back to George. 2 on the clock. 18 feet out. Rebound, Washington.
Great defensive anticipation there to challenge that shooter.
D passes to Ariza. Drains it from beyond the arc. Ariza's got 11 points.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Hill dishes to Granger to stop the drought. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws. It's on Emeka Okafor.
You know, when Danny Granger was out with injury last season, he saw that the Pacers team had become really Paul George's and Roy Hibbert's team as they became the new faces. While some would throw a fit about it, Granger said he was proud of them and happy to take a lesser role. He just wants to get back out there.
Mahimi's checked in for Indiana. And when Granger is healthy, Steve, he's certainly a great player.
Well, you love his versatility, his ability to play both ends of the floor. A tough defender who can guard multiple positions. Offensively, he can put it on the floor, get to the rim, and he's got three-point range. But really an excellent all-around player.
And George, here we go. That's blocked. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. While we have a quick chance here, let's now take a look at some point guards who have been dead on target from the floor over the course of the past 10 games. Third, John Wall.
Well, as a point guard, you want to create the best shot possible for your team on every trip. And given the way those players have shot the ball, it might always be a good idea for them to do it alone.
I don't really want to see them doing that, Steve. They got to keep everything in the framework of the team no matter how well they're shooting it. I know what you mean. They have been hot, but keep everybody involved.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Hey guys, Roy Hibbert, the 17th overall pick back in 2008, but there were concerns about him, that he was too slow, not athletic enough. Hibbert said, people said I wouldn't be in the NBA. People said I wouldn't be a starting center. I just proved people wrong, and hopefully I'll be the best when it's all said and done. The best? He added, quote, I will be the best center in the league one day. With his remarkable improvement thus far, he's not far off.
Well, you combine that size and that will to dominate. He's become a big factor. Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. Three-pointer, Granger. It's John Wall with the rebound.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
And George with the block.
Been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Danny Granger, the bucket on the assist by Scola. That's 7 points for Danny Granger. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Pacers.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
Here's Wall. It's stolen by Hill. Pacers leading by 9. He passes to George. Defended by Beal. Fades. It's rebounded by D. D's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Nene, the screen. D passes to Beal. Dishes it to Nene. With the shot. But they recover it.
Well, I doubt that was the plan there on that trip, guys, but they did get the shot to go.
Indiana's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. Back to Granger. Outside, Scola. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his first foul. And a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. And so it's Indiana with it. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And it's Johnson penetrating. Good. Johnson's got 8 points.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Ariza, a screen on Hill. He feeds it to Temple. D, 6 on the shot clock. They set the pick. Pass to Rice. Takes a 3, and the Wizards hit again from deep.
You know, the defense didn't exactly try to fight around that screen, and that's why it turned into the easy basket.
Now, here's Stevenson. Back to Hibbert. Noah. Some solid defense there by Nene. Wizards trail by 6. D passes to Rice. D. Pass to Rice. Beyond the arc. The shot misses. So the Pacers will take it the other way.
Well, the Wizards tied for the lowest scoring in the league last season, guys, and by efficiency, they were the league's worst offense.
And with the Wizards adding some more talent this season, hopefully more healthy, you got to think, Steve, that they'll improve on offense.
I agree with that. I mean, they've got an excellent backcourt with John Wall and Bradley Beal. You add Otto Porter, the rookie from Georgetown, and the front line, the experience of Okafor and Nene. I like this team. It's pretty well-rounded. They have a chance to be pretty good.
D passes to Temple. D. He kicks it to Temple. Good on the triple.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
They better not make it 3 straight, because now all of a sudden you're looking at a hot streak.
Hill with it. Now guarded bound by Temple. Hibbert with a screen for Hill. Kicks it out to Johnson. Nails the wide open jump shot. Johnson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Wizards trail by 6. Here's Temple. Now the pass to D. Picked by Okafor. Here's D. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. Tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Given it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team. They'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. They're on a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game, though.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
Hill with it. Now defended bound by Temple. There's 1:17 left in the third. Clock at 6. Granger left side. Shot from 12. Again, the miss by Granger. Wizards trail by 3. Okafor with the screen on George. Here's Rice. Second chance shot. Ariza no one.
Got a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
And there's the feed to Granger. Outside, George. Inside to Hibbert. Gets it to go. Hibbert's not his 3rd bucket of the night.
Crafty pass work there, getting it down low for the easy deuce.
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third. Temple the pass to D. Ariza a screen on Granger. The dish to Temple. Puts up a 3. And again, Washington with the triple. Now Hill. He has 5. Pass to West. Good if it goes. And no good trying to get that one. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter, and if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. So on the floor for Washington, Nene at the 4, Okafor at the 5. Wall and Beal together in the backcourt, and it's D in at the 3.
Great job. Taking it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left them no choice but to foul there.
That free throw, no good. No good on the second free throw.
Boy, their struggles at the line this half really starting to haunt them. You just cannot afford to miss free throws. It's like skipping breakfast. At some point in time, it's going to come back to hurt you.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
It's Wall with the drive. Nene kicks it to Beal. 5 to shoot. Lets it go. It's rebounded by Indiana. Skola's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Hill with it. He's picked up by Wall. Hill kicks to Granger for the 3. And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way. Chance now to check out the Washington Wizards' upcoming schedule. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them.
And some good games going on, especially that Atlanta contest. That's interesting.
And Wall. Here we go now. D. Granger with the defensive effort. Indiana leading by 4. Outside Hill. He dishes it to West. George feeds it to Hill. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Granger passes to Hill. Nene against Granger. Rebound, Washington. D's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Nene, the screen. Dishes it to Beal. Outside, Wall. Gives him the lead pass. And stolen by Scola. Hill against Beal. Hill dishes to Granger. Launches a 3. The rebound by Okafor. Okafor's got 5 rebounds tonight. Wall gets a screen from Nene. It's Wall with the drive. Pass to deep. Outside for Beal. They need this one. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2. And a chance now to check out the schedule for Indiana. After this one, they take on the Clippers at the Staples Center. They hit the road with that, the first of a 5-game run. First one falls for him.
Finally, he's starting to convert after working his way to the line time and time again. We'll see if he can maintain the pace.
The Pacers making a switch here. Hibbert's checked in. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Hill with it. Outside, George. Just 5 on the clock. From deep. Hill, no good.
You know, even against defense as tight as that, you expect him to bury those.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen him hit those in the past, but like you said, the defender was on him like glue. It would have been quite a bucket.
George with the ball. Now Beal defending. Hibbert kicks to George. Outside Hill. Back to George. On the wing, Granger. 3-pointer. There's the bucket. Good. Granger's got 5 points now this quarter.
They didn't get a chance to knock one down in the first, but the defense left him a look, and he nailed it. He'll make them pay when he's open.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, guys. I got a chance to hear what Randy Whitman was saying to the team. He told the squad, now is the time when we turn it on and leave them in the rear view mirror. It won't be easy, but guys, I know we can put them away. Let's see if they can deliver, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Hill against Wall. Hill kicks it to West. Nene on him. The 8-footer. West misses.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Nene with the screen on George. He feeds it to Wall. Leads him in there. Here's D. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
And here is Hill. Hibbert with the screen for Hill. Back to George. Passes it to Hibbert. The shot from the low post is good. Wizards trail by 3. Ball gets a screen from Nene. Now Wall. He passes it to D. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Nene with the screen on Granger. Shoots a 3. They get the rebound. Okafor, the pass to D. Beal. The pass to D. Okafor with the screen on Granger. D passes to Beal to tie it up. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
Indiana leading by 3. George with the ball. Picked up by Nene. Outside Hill. He kicks it to Granger. Hibbert with a screen for Granger. The feed to Hibbert. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And it's a 5-point Pacer lead.
That's some grit and determination in the post. Essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Exactly. I mean, this is the time to attack on the interior and generate those easy opportunities.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. 2 hands and hammer it down.
West dishes to Hill. Granger right side. 14 feet away. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 10 assists here tonight. So active.
Well, looks like he's starting to get things going here after that scoreless first half.
There's Beal with the 3. Pacers with the rebound. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Kicks it out to Granger. There's the dish to West. Hill passes to Granger. Shoots. Rebound by Nene.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
Pass to Wall. Makes the lead pass.
Hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert for Clark.
And again, Danny Granger. Granger's got 16 here in the second half.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Wall passes to D. The kick out to Wall. Shot clock at 6. The Wizards working the ball around now from past the arc, and that one's good. Now here is Hill. Kicks to George. It's back to Hill. It's George on the wing. 5 on the clock. Fires the 3. Kept alive by Indiana. Shot's good from West. And the Pacers lead by 4. So it's the Wizards now. Outside, Wall. Again, the Wizards score. Indiana's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Hill with it. He's picked up by Wall. Hill kicks it to West. Feeds it to Granger. A second chance effort, and the layup is good. Granger's got 11 points in the quarter.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Outside, Wall. He dishes it to Beal. 6 to shoot. Cloak loose, and so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Here's Wall. Just 4 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing. The offensive rebound.
Tough play underneath to give them another shot.
George against Beal. Outside, Wall. That's tipped. Pass to D. Goes back up. And that one's good. D's got 30.
That is clutch shooting, making the most of his opportunities here in the fourth.
A minute 50 left here in the fourth quarter. Ball against Hill. Back to Hibbert. Clock at 6. Shoots a fader. Rebounded by Dean. Wizards have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth. Right around 46-47%. Ball passes to D. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Washington calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. 1:16 left to play here in the fourth. The first one, and that narrows the gap to 1. That one drops. He ties it up.
Clutch free throws there, fellas. This one's a barn burner. Tight as me in an airport lavatory.
Outside Hill. Granger outside. It's back to Hill. From downtown. They get it again. Tries again. Tries yet again. Money!
That is a clutch shot if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, very gutsy there. What more can you say? He got it done at the best time.
It's Wall with the drive. Here's D. Money! Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't the plan for the D on that trip.
And I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that finish.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
Granger dishes to George. Hill kicks to George. For 3! Kills the 3!
Nice play. They're in control. Just play solid, good defense. No quick bucket and no easy 3.
19 seconds left in the game. Here's Wall. Here's D. They shoot again. It's good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
Gets the first. That will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
That last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Dishes to Beal. Shoots the 3. Right between the eyes. A tremendous 3 to tie it up. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. Don't go anywhere, folks. Overtime just ahead. Jump ball right around the corner. Down low, West and Hibbert. George and Granger on the perimeter. And it's Hill in at the point. Wall's shot is off. We're in overtime if you've just joined us. 2.5 minutes through it. Granger kicks to Hibbert. Stolen. He feeds it to Beal. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Boy, that was a massive sequence of events there. Absolutely clutch defense to trigger the break.
And we've seen games decided on plays, Clark, just like that.
Effort and hustle plays often are big plays for a team.
Yeah, what a time to blow up a play and then turn it into a slam at the other end. Yeah, he didn't have to slow down at all, guys. Just perfectly timed pass there.
Free throw drops for Hill. We're in OT here with just over 2.5 minutes gone by. Hill against Wall. Passes it to D. From 12 feet out. Again, the Wizards good for 2.
Boy, you can't run an inbounds play any better than that right there.
2 minutes.
Here is Hill. Back to West. Outside West. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on the name.
Well, I think that the Wizards need to change their strategy against West.
He's got 13 rebounds and 1 assist.
Wizards trail by 3. Outside Wall. Off the inbound. And it's good on the way in.
Broke out the finger roll, guys. That was kind of a stylish finish.
And Indiana's shooting has been terrific. 54% on the game. Hill kicks to Granger. It's back to Hill. There's the pass to Granger. 6 on the shot clock. Granger right side. And that's an air ball. Not even close. Wall against Hill. Hill gets a screen from Hibbert. West. And the powerful one-handed slam.
One of the oldest plays in basketball made that dunk possible.
That's right. A terrific screen right there, Steve. Allowed him to lose his man and rock it to the rim.
Now, don't you love to see players working together in that fundamental play? Fun to watch.
Dean. Granger covering. Beal against George. From the stripe. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line. And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And the second of 2 is good. That brings them within 2 here.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might hurt. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
Wall against Hill. He passes to Granger. He kicks to Hibbert. And counts the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Now he caps it off in style with the free throw. Big possession there to extend the lead.
Washington with the ball. There's the screen. Here's Wall. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Poked away. Beal with the steal.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got 1 more, though. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's Wall. It's Beal on the wing. Puts up the tray. And the call will be against D. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
At the line for 2.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
So it's Indiana picking up the win. Clark, what a game.
Yeah, they kept their cool.
Let me be the first person to congratulate you on your spectacular performance tonight. I don't know if you saw the final stat line, but you ended up with a triple-double, the first one of your career. Can we expect more performances like this from you?
I certainly hope so. Everything just seemed to be clicking out there tonight. The rebounds were falling my way. My teammates were making their shots when I passed to them. It was just one of those games where everything seems to just go right.